At midnight, every contract inside the office began to bleed black ink. The company slogan said, "We are family," until the wall rewrote itself. Family does not steal your life. Yu-Wei stared at the words, unable to decide whether she was dreaming or finally seeing the truth. 3 sleepless nights of work had just been renamed under her manager's name. Her proposal was not lost. It was stolen. Her manager smiled as if theft could become mentorship if spoken gently enough. Then the folders opened by themselves. Black ink crawled across the conference table like old blood. At the end of the hallway stood a woman with a rain-soaked coat and a silver ring glowing like moonlight. Her name was Asera Mo. She looked 30, but she had been alive for 527 years. She was the Grey Moon Witch. For 5 centuries, she had refused to cast a spell. Tonight, she broke her oath. She did not raise her hand to kill anyone. She spoke one sentence. "Return what you stole." The office lights flickered like they were afraid of her. Yu-Wei had spent her entire life apologizing before she understood what had been taken from her. As a child, she was mocked for being poor. At school, her lunchbox became a joke. At work, her obedience became a tool. In stores, her silence became permission. With landlords, contracts became traps. With managers, overtime became loyalty. With classmates, cruelty became humor. Every time Yu-Wei was hurt, the world taught her to say sorry. Asera had watched it happen for years. She had watched Yu-Wei shrink in rooms where she had done nothing wrong. She had watched kind people become useful prey. But Asera feared her own power more than she feared human cruelty. 500 years ago, she created magic to make contracts fair. Hidden costs would glow. Stolen labor would return to its owner. False promises would burn on paper. It was supposed to protect the weak. But merchants learned how to corrupt it. They discovered that exploitation became invisible when victims were trained to accept it willingly. Low pay became opportunity. Humiliation became growth. Unpaid overtime became passion. Stolen credit became teamwork. Control became love. This corruption became known as the Grey Contract. Grey contracts did not cut the body. They trained the soul to surrender. Asera blamed herself for creating the first spell that made this possible. So she placed a silver ring on her hand and forbade herself from using major magic. Then Yu-Wei reached the rooftop. She was not trying to die. She simply did not know where else to breathe. Rain hit the city like 1,000 unpaid debts. Yu-Wei held medical bills, rejected overtime forms, stolen proposal records, and the recording of her manager calling her usable. Asera stepped through the rain and froze every drop in midair. For the first time in Yu-Wei's life, the world stopped before she had to. Asera removed the silver ring. It hit the rooftop and cracked in half. "I am not ordinary," Asera said. "And you are not useless." Yu-Wei asked if magic could make her enemies disappear. Asera could have done it. She could have cursed the manager, ruined the owner, and marked every bully with their own words. But revenge was not the spell Yu-Wei needed. Asera offered something more dangerous. She offered to teach Yu-Wei how to take herself back. The first lesson did not begin with fire. It did not begin with lightning. It began with a blank page. Yu-Wei wrote, "I should work harder." The paper burned. Asera told her that was not a spell. It was a lock someone had placed inside her. Yu-Wei wrote again. "I do not want my work stolen anymore." The page glowed faintly. Asera told her to be more precise. Finally, Yu-Wei wrote the sentence she had been afraid to believe. "Peishan stole my proposal. It was not my fault." The greenhouse lit up with silver light. The first spell was not attack. The first spell was naming the harm. Asera taught her return magic. Return magic cannot create wealth from nothing. It cannot make success appear from air. It can only return what was stolen. It returns time. It returns credit. It returns proof. It returns boundaries. It returns names. It returns the part of a person that was trained to disappear. The next morning, Yu-Wei sat in the presentation room while her manager prepared to steal her work in front of the client. The first slide displayed Pei-shan's name. Yu-Wei placed one trembling hand on the table. The screen flickered. Black ink swallowed the false credit. A new name appeared. Lead strategy, data analysis, and interviews, Yu-Wei Ho. The room went silent. Every hidden draft rose from the file history. Every timestamp arranged itself into a golden timeline. Every stolen hour stepped out of the dark. Pei-shan shouted that Yu-Wei was making a scene. Yu-Wei played the recording. Yu-Wei is very usable. Do not promote her. If she rises, she becomes harder to control. That was the moment Yu-Wei learned that truth does not always need to scream. Once released, truth has its own voice. But power is dangerous when it enters a person who has swallowed pain for too long. At first, Yu-Wei used magic only to correct injustice. Line cutters returned to the end of the queue. Dishonest stores read their hidden fees aloud. Bullies saw their own insecurity written back at them. It felt fair. It felt clean. It felt satisfying. Then a junior colleague made a mistake after spending the night at the hospital with his mother. Yu-Wei felt an old voice whisper inside her. No one forgave you. Why should you forgive him? She nearly exposed all his mistakes in front of everyone. Asera grabbed her wrist before truth became humiliation. Truth is not a knife for enjoying someone's fear. Yu-Wei realized that becoming powerful was not the same as becoming free. If she used pain to control weaker people, she would become another gray contract. The real enemy was larger than one manager. Asera and Yu-Wei discovered gray contracts everywhere. They were in phone plans. They were in rental deposits. They were in membership terms. They were in workplace evaluations. They were in influencer courses. They were in investor scripts. They were in every sentence that made refusal feel rude. They were in every system that made exhaustion look like ambition. All traces led to White Tower audit. White Tower did not sell products. It sold language that made exploitation sound beautiful. Its representative was known only as the nameless auditor. He wore white gloves and smiled like a contract that already knew your weakness. The auditor told Yu-Wei that exposing one company would change nothing. The entire city was running on gray contracts. Then he revealed the truth Asera feared most. He was not just an investigator. He was the surviving fragment of Asera's first apprentice. 500 years ago, that apprentice had twisted fair magic into a machine for modern exploitation. The auditor did not want Yu-Wei dead. He wanted her useful. He told her kindness was the reason kind people lose. He offered her the power to put everyone who hurt her beneath her feet. The price was small. She only had to give up the part of herself that still softened for others. That was when Yu-Wei understood the pattern. Everyone who wanted to control her first tried to take away her ability to feel. Then Asera revealed her true sin. She had not merely lost compassion 5 centuries ago. She had cut it out of herself. She feared becoming a tyrant in the name of justice. So she split away the softest part of her soul and sent it into reincarnation. That lost compassion lived again and again as people who were easily hurt but never fully corrupted. In this life, that lost heart was Yu-Wei. Yu-Wei was not just Asera's student. She was not just Asera's friend. She was the kindness Asera had abandoned to survive her own power. The final battle began at midnight on the roof of White Tower Audit. Every screen in the city displayed the same new clause. I voluntarily waive my right to feel unfairness. If the city accepted it, suffering would not disappear. It would simply stop being called suffering. Overtime would be called passion. Humiliation would be called discipline. Low pay would be called learning. Stolen names would be called teamwork. Asera prepared to sacrifice her immortality to erase the contracts. Yu-Wei refused to let her die alone for a sin that the whole world had helped spread. She placed her hand over Asera's heart. Silver oath and golden compassion joined together. They did not destroy every contract. They rewrote the root rule. Any contract that requires dignity as payment must reveal its full cost. Any exploitation disguised as love, growth, dreams, or opportunity must show its true name. Any oppressed person who says "I do not agree" pauses the contract. The auditor screamed that humans sell themselves too easily. Yu-Wei answered that they were only never told they could refuse. White Tower collapsed because deception could no longer hold its walls together. Mourning did not turn the world into a fairy tale. Bad companies did not vanish. Rent did not fall. Medical bills did not disappear. But something had changed. An intern saw an unpaid overtime clause glow red and asked for an overtime request. A tenant saw a deposit trap and demanded a revision. A mother at a hospital counter realized her anxiety was not a nuisance. Small lights appeared across the city. Asera lost her immortality and began to age. Yu-Wei became the new Grey Moon Witch. But she refused to build a witch empire. She refused to sell magic. Instead, she opened the return room. On the wall, she wrote 3 simple spells. This was not my fault. Please write down the full cost. I do not agree. The true twist was not that Yu-Wei became a witch. The true twist was that the silent were never without magic. They were only never told that refusal could be a spell. That night, the cracked silver ring began glowing again. New words appeared inside it. The second creator of gray contracts has awakened. Across the city, a white sign lit up on a new business school. Institute of Human Capital. Some forms of exploitation never disappear. They only change names. But this time, the people who had learned to bow were no longer the same.